Hello and welcome back to the Broad Street Fanatics podcast. A long time no see, guys. We got a special guest there today. We have Sam Prince from Prince on the Pod. And Sam, how you been?
Thanks, Cam. And hey, Alex, really appreciate you guys coming on. I'm ready to talk some football tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about football, and you've been crazy busy with some out of the world's experience. So we're going to be talking about football, your draft experience. Good morning, football. We're going to be talking about all of that. You're basically a celebrity now.
I
So
mean, what can I say? It's kind of weird when people say I'm a celebrity. I just got back from Disney and I was online at the Rock and Roller Coaster, which is the best ride at Disney. I was at Disney World, not Disneyland. And it was really weird. I was wearing a Giants shirt and someone recognized me. It's like, you're recognizing me. It's just so weird,
yeah.
that little interaction. But, we'll see if it lasts. Hopefully it will.
All right. Well, I think that leads us into our first question. How how did you get involved with the New York Giants and the whole draft thing? How did that all come about?
Well, so I always had a make-a-wish. I was born with a hypoplastic left heart syndrome. Basically, what that is, I was born with half a heart. I was also born with one lung. I needed a lot of open heart surgeries. That fixed it for a while, but then didn't permanently fix it. I got a heart transplant when I was 8 years old on March 14th, 2011. I've been gone 11 years strong. And I've always had one, and I always thought about, I wanted to do something that's truly a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I remember the rest of my life. And I always loved the draft. I love the Giants, and it's a match made in heaven.
Well, we are glad you're going strong. That was the coolest experience ever. Can you talk about the draft for a minute? What was it like for you?
Guys, it's so different being at the draft. You guys watched on TV and get to go in your draft boards, cross players out for your team. I know you guys like the Eagles. So if
Yeah,
like last year, like for this year, you with the draft, like, oh, Jordan Davis on the board. These are the possible players. You don't really get to do that at the draft and the audience. You just like we're cheering your team on, and you just gotta go from memory. But for me, it was very different. I got in backstage, got to go in the green room with Commissioner Goodell. Commissioner, he was a really cool guy. A lot of people think he's a jerk, but he's the best commissioner in sports, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I got to meet so many people there. And then the whole experience for me happened. You saw me hyping up the crowd, announcing Kayvon's name, and did a little dance, and we went viral.
you did go viral. You went Twitter. I could look up Sam Prince's now name on Google, and you're like top search on Google, my friend. So great for you. What? Let's go to the Giants for a minute. What do you think of the Thibodeau pick? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Cam, I don't like it. I love it.
What do you like about Thibodeau?
He was the best defensive and in the draft. The Giants needed an edge rusher, and they got him at 5. Provides a personality and provides the defense to get better, and he's going to be really good for this team, to say the least.
Yeah, Rich.
So my question is, what was the reaction like after the first round for you?
Do you mean like what I thought of it, or of the reaction of everyone saying stuff on Twitter?
Yeah, like that, and like all over Vegas.
So I'll do a little both, just because I'm sure you guys are gonna ask me that too. I love the first round. I thought Neal and Thibodeau was the best 2 picks of the first round. I think it was a home run for Joe Shane and the rest of the Giants organization for getting those 2 players. Not if they're trading down or up for them. So it was really weird. People started recognizing me on the streets in Vegas and at the draft. I was getting recognized in the streets. People were giving me looks like, that's the kid, that's the kid, that's the kid. No joke, guys. I was at the draft. I was had like a pick. We're after the Ravens pick. So after pick 14, and I think it was after the Ravens, and I had to go to the bathroom really badly. I had to go. So I went with this guy. I went with someone from Make-A-Wish. My guy Jamie, that's his name. And it took me 30 minutes to get to the bathroom. people were going up to me and taking pictures, and I didn't want to be a jerk. I wanted to save all of it, but I didn't go. And then at a moment I saw that, I'm like, guys, I'll talk to you. I just gotta go to the bathroom, and they're waiting outside of the stall. It was so funny.
That's a moment I guess would always remember. You people coming up to you nowadays, like you were talking about Disney. People came up to you in Disney too, right?
Yeah, they didn't come up to me. They recognized me. Like I heard them talking about me, and I gave them a wave. I wasn't gonna say, you could just take a picture of me. It's all good, but they didn't go up to me. But it's fine. They recognized me, which is still really weird.
Rich, keep going.
Okay. What went on before you announced the pick?
The of draft day or the whole experience?
Like 5 minutes leading up to the pick, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was about 20 minutes. Honestly,
That's what I meant.
They okay, so before the draft, at draft day, in the first round, had the whole experience went out. So the whole experience was there. I was sitting with Ben and my family, Ben's family. Ben was the kid who announced the Patriots second round pick. He was the other Make-A-Wish kid. There's a really nice kid up. We're gonna meet up soon. Don't know when yet. After Trayvon Walker got selected, the NFL, one of the ladies people from the NFL, Melissa, came up to me and she's like, "It's your time to go backstage now." So I'm like walking backstage. I see Commissioner Goodell and I see Ice Cube. This is like all while the Lions are on the clock. And before we entered the green room, Commissioner, the Lions picked Aiden Hutchinson was kind of obvious for everyone there. It was their pickup because he should have gone one. But I shook Ice Cube's hand before I shook Commissioner Goodell's hand. And then I'm just sitting in the green room. I'm like, this place is so cool. They're offering food and drinks, but I didn't want to be a schnurr and have awesome. I only took a water because also I didn't really want to spill or eat and my clothes and my clothes are on my food's on my clothes. That would not have been good. So I gotta look good. So I was just drinking water and I was talking to Commissioner Goodell about organization, my life, my story. And I want to be a sports broadcaster. And he was really impressed with me and my performance on the stage.
That sounds really cool. And you got to go on like Good Morning Football and stuff too. Wait, did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to talk? You want me to talk about Good Morning Football?
Yeah. Good Morning Football. Talk about that experience a little bit.
Wow, we're on right to Good Morning Football. So that show is my favorite sports show. One of my favorites, probably it's still my favorite. And that's one of the reasons why I really got into sports media was that show, that and First Take. I really got to give Good Morning Football a lot of credit because when Nate Berlin's the one on the show with Kay Adams, with Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt, all four of those guys, that show was amazing. It still is great, now with Peter and Kyle. Unfortunately, Kay just left. Now I was there for one of her last shows, which is really the thing about it, like how great that legacy is of that show. And think about her legacy at NFL Network. I got to be one of her last interviews on the show. And I believe I was the last, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 99% sure I am. Think about that. I was Kay Adams' last interview on NFL Network. Think about that. It's crazy. So the way all that went down, so I was doing all his media appearances after the draft, and NFL Network wants me on the show, their draft show. And I was like, holy good, you want me on your show? So that was with Rich Eisen, one of my idols in my life, Peter Schrager, Charles Davis, and Daniel Jeremiah. And, I just thought I was going to ask a couple questions and just leave, just being there, just meeting those guys was just like an OMG moment for me. Like, this is happening. Like, I was like pinching myself. I thought I was dreaming. And, I'm sure you guys have watched 1,000 times that one. And they say, we're going down the line. And then Rich says, "Hey, Sam, you want to become a sports broadcaster?" I was like, yeah. He's like, "How would you like to anchor the rest of the set?" And I asked questions just like how I would do in play-by-play camps. I went down the line, a lot of it on the spot, and they were all really impressed with me. The whole NFL team was amazed by me, which that really meant the world to me. And then I said to Peter, I was telling everyone after, I said, "Peter, is there any way that I can shadow you at Good Morning Football one day?" I wasn't asking to be on the show, guys. Like, let's just make that clear, that part. And he says, I don't want you to shout at me. I want you to be on the show with me. I was like, are you serious? I watch that show every day. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I did that. And then I was emailing back with one of the producers. And I went on the show on that experience. I know this is a long answer. So the whole
good.
Good Morning Football experience was sensational. Everyone was so nice. I'll be like quite honest with you guys. Like, I didn't think I was like gonna get that much time to talk to Kay Adams. I got a lot of time to talk to her. I got a lot of time to talk to everyone. And that's now opened some more doors that I can't say yet. You'll guys be finding out very soon.
What was it like just being in the studio and being in that moment?
It was another dream come true because I've always dreamed of being in that chair. And when I sat down in that chair, it felt right.
Mm-hmm. So my next question is, after the draft concluded, how many podcasts and radio stations did you go on?
A lot. I don't have the exact number, but I've been on a lot. I've been on a huge media tour.
Sam Print Media Tour, Rich. And then I think one of our last questions is, did you got to stay the same hotel as the prospects and like bump into them like around the city?
So I believe the prospects stayed at like the Bellagio or something, or one of those hotels, but I didn't see any prospects in my hotel. I stayed at the Link though. And you know who also stayed at my hotel, Cam? Zach Berman. So we met up.
Another SPC legend, Zach Berman. All right. So I think that's all we have. But thank you, Sam, for coming on and talking to us. What a crazy experience. And we always love having you.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you inviting me on.
Thank you.
Of course.